Hi, I'm Steve. You can call me Steve. I like honey. I've been eating peanut butter and honey sandwiches since I was 8. I'm a creature of habit. My sandwiches would be greatly lacking without bees. Everyone knows 2 things about bees. They make honey and they sting. And anybody who's scared of anything about bees is scared of getting stung. That's fair. Bee stings hurt, and if you're allergic, they can be fatal. Anaphylactic shock is not a trivial matter. It's not much fun for the bee either, although that may be small comfort for you in the moment. A bee's sting is a one-use only weapon, because it's invariably fatal for the bee. A bee's stinger protrudes from the back end of its abdomen, and there's a venom sac inside the body. That venom is what makes the sting hurt so much. The physical poke from the stinger is pretty minor. The sac also contains its own set of muscles for pumping venom out through the stinger. When a bee stings you, the barbs on the stinger get lodged in your flesh, and the whole stinger sac muscle assembly gets ripped out of the bee's body. The poor little bee then flies off to die quietly, but you're usually a little too preoccupied at that point to notice. Those pumping muscles keep pumping away even after they and the bee have parted company, and the detached stinger emits alarm pheromones to let other bees know there's an intruder to be dealt with. This is where you could potentially get swarmed and stung repeatedly, but that's very rare. You need to work really hard to get to that point. First off, you need to be near a hive. A single bee out foraging by itself probably doesn't have enough sisters nearby to cause a swarm. You might get stung if you accidentally step on one in bare feet, but only by that one bee. Secondly, you need to persuade a bee to sting you. This is not as easy as it sounds. Simply being near a hive isn't enough. You need to be actively futzing with it to piss them off. Like most animals, bees will give you warnings before they attack. They will fly in zigzags in front of you. Watch for bees making Zs in the air, or if you're in the States, Zs. If you fail to heed this first warning, they'll dive bomb you and bounce off you. If you're out for a walk and getting pelted with bees, take the hint. Only if you keep futzing will they start stinging, and at that point, it's your own fault. I've been saying bees this whole time, but what I really mean is honeybees. There are 16,000 species of bees, but only 7 of them are considered honeybees. Their primary distinguishing features are their large colonies and production of honey, which also makes them of interest to us. That social colony aspect is key. You don't get a whole lot of honey from one bee living by itself. That honey collection also draws the attention of large mammals. Well, large mammals in addition to humans. Bees will be more unfriendly to you if you're wearing dark fuzzy clothing, because it resembles the pelt of a bear or a badger or some other fuzzy pelted honey-stealing animal. So if you plan to go bothering beehives, wear white. They're also set off by excess amounts of moisture and CO2, exactly what the hive would experience if a bear stuck its muzzle in and started breathing heavily. I also mentioned that alarm pheromone. A pheromone is just a chemical that affects the behavior of an organism. Lots of animals and plants use small molecules to indicate alarm or arousal. That smell of freshly mown lawn is due to the grass plants warning their neighbors that something unpleasant is happening to them. The thing about pheromones is that more than one species can use the same molecule. That bee alarm pheromone is also found in bananas, so if you plan to go bee bothering, stick to apples. There's also concern about Africanized bees. Domestic honeybees are native to Eurasia, but some of those have been crossbred with African species, which then escaped and turned feral. This has resulted in colonies of bees that are more defensive. Note that more defensive does not mean swarms of killer bees looking for people to sting. You still have to annoy them to provoke a sting, but these bees require less provocation. They originated in a research institute in Brazil and have spread north to the US, but they don't deal well with winter, so they're currently stuck at the northern edge of their range until climate change kicks in seriously. I could go on and on about how cool bees are, how they're in danger, and how we'd be seriously hosed if they all died, but I'm running out of time. I'll have to save that for another video. That's bees. They are highly beneficial social insects who our entire existence depends on. While they will sting you, you have to work really hard to get stung. If you're out and about and find yourself getting pelted with flying bees, just turn around and leave. Oh, and we're not the only animal that can communicate warnings about bees to each other. Elephants have an alarm trumpet that means run, the bees are angry. Thanks for watching. I've been Steve.